Welcome to CBSEasy.
All right, let's get into it. Today, we are on a mission. We're not just going to go over life processes, we're going to crack the exam code for what is absolutely one of the most critical, high-weightage chapters you will ever face. So let's dive right in. So this is it, right? The big question. How in the world do you master this chapter for the boards? We all know it's just jam-packed with concepts and diagrams and all these different processes. It can feel like a lot. But what if I told you there's a way to know exactly what the examiners are looking for, a strategy to not just pass, but to absolutely nail it? Well, that's our mission today. We are going to decode that exam paper. We're going to reveal some serious topper secrets and really give you the playbook you need to aim for those full marks. Think of this as your official mission briefing. Okay, first things first. Every good mission needs a solid foundation. So let's just quickly lock in our core concept. What exactly are life processes? You know, getting this definition right is the very first step to answering pretty much any question on this topic. To put it simply, these are just the essential maintenance jobs that keep us going 24/7. Think about it like this. Even when you're fast asleep, your body is working. It's repairing itself, it's digesting, it's breathing. All that requires energy, and that constant non-stop work, well, that's what these processes are all about. All right, let's move to our first target, nutrition. Now, yeah, the whole chapter has 4 key processes, but today we're zeroing in on nutrition and respiration. Why? Because these two are absolutely packed with high-value questions. And nutrition is where it all begins. It's the fuel for every other process we're about to talk about. So, nutrition basically breaks down into 2 main strategies, right? On one side, you've got your self-sufficient autotrophs. Think plants making their own food using sunlight. And on the other side, you've got heterotrophs. And yep, that's us. We depend on getting our food from other sources. Okay, lean in for this one, because this is a huge board alert. You need to pay close attention here. The official sample papers are screaming this at us. Diagrams, especially like the human alimentary canal, are prime material for those big 4-mark case study questions. They won't just ask you to label stuff. They're going to ask you to analyze functions based on the picture. Mastering this, it's completely non-negotiable. All right, so you want to know the real difference between a pretty good answer and a full-mark, top-of-the-class answer? It's not about writing pages and pages. It's about writing the right words. So let's pull back the curtain and look at a real topper secret, straight from the official CBSE marking scheme. So let's imagine this. The question is about how we digest protein. You know, maybe from an egg or some chicken you had for lunch. You might know the general idea, but how do you phrase it perfectly to get every single point? This right here, this is the secret sauce. These aren't just, helpful hints. These are the exact keywords from the official marking scheme. Your examiner literally has a checklist with these words on it. For full marks, you have to mention that protein digestion is initiated in the stomach. The glands doing the work? Gastric glands. What activates the key enzyme? The acidic medium created by hydrochloric acid. The enzyme itself? It's pepsin. And of course, what protects the stomach lining? Mucus. Using this exact terminology, that's your golden ticket. Okay, target 1 is down. Let's move to our second target, respiration. So we've got the fuel from nutrition, right? But now we need a way to actually release the energy from that fuel. And that's exactly what respiration's all about. Bottom line, respiration is the process of breaking down food, usually glucose, to get the energy that every single cell in your body needs to do its job. It's simple. No respiration, no energy. It is that fundamental. And here's a totally mind-blowing fact that'll help you remember why our bodies are designed so brilliantly. If you could take the alveoli in your lungs and spread them out flat, they would cover about 80 square meters. That's massive. It's an incredible design just to maximize the space for gas exchange. I just love this quote from the textbook because it makes such a crucial point. Get this. If our bodies had to rely only on simple diffusion to get oxygen from our lungs all the way down to our toes, it would take an estimated 3 years just for one molecule. That's where hemoglobin comes in. It's our super efficient oxygen taxi service that makes our complex lives even possible. And it's time for another high priority board alert. Seriously, this next topic is a huge favorite for examiners. You will see this pop up everywhere, from MCQs to short answer questions. And it is, of course, the breakdown of glucose. Okay, the key here is to understand the three possible pathways, the three fates of glucose. But listen up, the first step is always the same. No matter what, in the cytoplasm, one big glucose molecule splits into two smaller pyruvate molecules. After that, it's all about oxygen. Pathway 1. If there's plenty of oxygen, that pyruvate goes into the mitochondria for aerobic respiration. You get tons of energy. Pathway 2. If there's no oxygen at all, like in yeast, you get anaerobic respiration and it becomes ethanol. And pathway 3. In our own muscles, when we're working out really hard and there's a lack of oxygen, it turns into lactic acid. You have to know these three fates, where they happen, and what they produce. And this brings us to a classic exam question. What's the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Here's the simple breakdown you have to remember. Aerobic needs oxygen, happens in the mitochondria, and it releases a ton of energy. Anaerobic, no oxygen, happens in the cytoplasm, and it releases way less energy. It's all about efficiency. Whew, we've covered our main targets, so now it's time for the mission debrief. Let's pull all this intel together into a final, actionable strategy you can use for your revision. So here it is, your final checklist. Before you walk into that exam, make sure you can do these 5 things. 1. Ace those 4-mark diagram questions. 2. Use those exact keywords from the marking scheme. 3. Know the 3 pathways of glucose breakdown cold. 4. Be ready to clearly explain the difference between aerobic and anaerobic. And 5. Understand why things like hemoglobin and that massive alveolar surface area are so important. Nail these 5 points, and trust me, you're going to be in fantastic shape. And that is a wrap on our mission. You have the intel, you have the strategies, you have the secrets from inside the system. So the only question left is, are you ready to put it all into action and go ace this exam? Good luck.
Thank you for watching with us. See you next time.